Hey, welcome to Coffee with Creators podcast. My name is Rob Balasabas. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to say thank you to our sponsor, StreamYard. StreamYard is my go-to live streaming and content creation platform. You can go live on multiple channels at the same time. You can record your podcast, you can record your interviews, you can record your tutorials. It's an amazing tool. You can even repurpose and edit your content there as well. And so make sure you go check them out. Go to the link in the description or in the show notes for a free trial and let them know that Rob sent you. Hey, welcome back. Again, my name is Rob Balasabas. Really glad to have you here. Today is Sunday, March 17th, 2024. I just got back from a conference, South by Southwest, last Friday, and I was there for about a few days last week on behalf of Uscreen, and I had a blast. I want to dive into a few things today. I want to dive into some of the takeaways that I had from conversations with people at the conference, in and around the conference, and some of the conversations, that I had, some of the observations, some of the learnings that I had. So basically, my key takeaways from the conference. And I always have this. I have a note that sort of a notepad digitally on my phone that I always keep whenever I go to conferences. And I basically just want to share those key takeaways with you, so that I think it applies to our community here, because there was a lot of creator economy conversations. But before I dive into that, I just want to kind of get a feel for our community here, because I had a conversation with someone that I met at the conference in Austin, Texas last week, and I said that, hey, I'm from out of town. I'm from Vancouver in Canada, and they were like, oh wow, yeah, that's cool, and I used to do that, but I really don't like traveling anymore. I really don't like traveling for work. I try not to travel at all, even for pleasure. And so it got me thinking, because I love to travel, and but it got me thinking, man, maybe some people actually don't like to travel, and I'd love to know why so. And so I want to post that here. I want to pose that to you guys. Do you like to travel? Do you like to travel for work? Do you like to travel for pleasure? Do you like to travel to see new things, and on your vacations? And how do you like to travel? Do you like to travel by plane? Do you like to travel by car and have an awesome road trip? Do you like to travel by boat, by ferry, on cruise ships? That's your jam, maybe. Maybe you don't like planes, you don't like that kind of travel, but maybe you like getting on cruise ships and kind of living that lifestyle of being on a cruise ship. I've never been on a cruise ship, by the way. I've never been on a cruise. We've done a lot of flying and driving, but never been on a cruise. That's down the road for us. But I would love to hear from you, whether or not you like to travel, and how you like to travel, and if you do like to travel, where do you want to travel to next? And also, I guess on the other side of the coin, if you don't like to travel, I'd love to hear why. I'd love to hear why. Why don't you like to travel? Was it a previous experience? Are you kind of burnt out from traveling around? Maybe you're one of these folks that are professional travelers where you're, man, I've met some of these folks, sort of going to conferences, that they're traveling like 2 weeks a month, some more, every single month, and that's just their lifestyle. And so would love to know about that from you. I'd love to know why you don't like to travel or why you do. So for me, like I said, I love to travel. Traveling, I enjoy both, personally, for pleasure with my family. We love to travel. Travel is a top priority for us every single year. We are always like, we have the plans to go. We already have a trip likely that we are, planning for and already in the works, and we're waiting to go on. And then as soon as that's done, maybe even before, we already have the next trip, the next, place that we want to explore, the next destination in our minds. And so if you talk to me or my wife, you'll get the download of like, oh, that's where you guys are going this year, that's where you're planning next year. We do have those things. We just love to travel. We love to see the world, and I think it's an important experience, to show, because we have kids now. I think it's such an awesome learning experience to just be so well rounded by being able to travel and see other cultures, and see how other places function, how other cities function, and that how, the kind of food, the culture, the people, how they are, that the world is so much bigger than where you are today in your city. And so, I mean, of course, not everybody has the resources and the means to travel all the time. And so, it's just a priority that we as a family have decided to make, that we want to make sure that we travel, we see the world, and that the world is much bigger than, our city or our neighborhood. And, I never got to travel too much as a kid growing up. And, I think that's something that, we have prioritized, with our family. And so it's great. As far as work, I've been blessed that in my position, I do get to travel quite a fair bit because of the nature of my role as head of creator partnerships and community here at Uscreen. That I get to travel to go to conferences and different events and things like that. And so it's been really cool. I just love seeing people in person that we work with. Our team members as well. I get to meet them as well. It's just really cool to see that. But also like our customers and our partners. And I think there's something to be said about the difference of, really solidifying your relationship when you're able to shake hands, and see each other in person, look somebody eye to eye, and really genuinely kind of discuss ideas and thank them for being an amazing customer, amazing partner, part of your journey, part of your mission as a company. I think it's really cool. And of course, to meet your team members in person, especially in our very remote first world that we live in now. It's so awesome. I'm so thankful for it. I'm so thankful for it. So on both sides, for me, personal and business, for work, my career, love to travel. I love to travel any opportunity I can. Of course, now I am finding that there's going to be some things that I have to say no to as more opportunities and more doors open. There's just things you have to be intentional. You have to be smart, that you can't travel all the time, and especially with, where we are with our family. I could probably travel way more. And there's so many opportunities for traveling for work. But in the stage of our family, my family can't come with me all the time. There's some times where they can, for example, spring break and summer break. And, if there's something that falls into that. But for the most part, they have to be here during the school year and stuff. And so, we want to make sure that I am also present. If there's a moment where my family says, what, you're gone a lot, I will stop traveling. That's my priority. Families first. But I've been blessed with an amazing wife that is a true partner here, where when I travel, she really holds it down at home, and she's, she is amazing. And so it's a team effort. It's definitely a team effort that I'm able to focus on work and travel when I need to. And she does everything else, and it's just amazing. She's, I'm very, very blessed there. And so, definitely find a wife like that, or a partner, a spouse like that. And so before we get into our relationship podcast here, I'm gonna get into our topic. But yes, shout out to my wife, Justine. If you're listening, man, holding it down is just an amazing woman. So, so that's me. I would love to hear from you though. Do you love to travel? Yes or no? And why? All right. And where do you want to travel next if you do like to travel? All right. So let's get on with today's episode. I've got some thoughts about South by Southwest and some of the takeaways there. And let's get into it. All right. First, actually, let me know. I'm testing out a new process here. Let me know what you think of these transition audio little music clips. Let me know what you think of them. Let me know if there's one that you suggest. I like this one. It's called Power Down. I'm actually recording this episode using a combination of StreamYard and a combination of Spotify directly. And so, so let me know what you think of that audio transition. All right. So South by Southwest. Okay. So South by Southwest is a really, really cool conference. It's based in, it happens in Austin, Texas every single year. And it's massive. It's, it basically takes over Austin, Texas. And if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. And if you go on their social media, if you go to Instagram and stuff, and you go to at SXSW at South by Southwest, you'll see, man, this conference covers culture, in every single way. Fashion, movies, TV, same thing, I guess, sort of. All the big, there's celebrities there, there's tech and media, and there's creator economy, and there's healthcare, and there's startups, and there's all sorts of industries. There's the defense industry, which is massive, right? And those are just some of the industries covered. But basically, anything for everyone. Sort of the next very forthcoming next generation of ideas, and very advanced ideas. It's really, really there, and so it's really cool conference. I went. It's like a almost a 2 week conference, but there's a few days in between where it's the creator economy conference. So I went. That's when I went last week, and had a great time. And like I said in earlier in this episode, here's some of the things that I noticed. Here's the things that I observed, listening, talking to people that were there. We had a couple of Uscreen get-togethers with partners and customers and team members, actually, and so got to meet a lot of people. And then sort of every day that I was there, I was having brunch, so not brunch, breakfast, coffee, lunch, dinner with different creator economy folks as well. And so let me think here. One, two, three, four, about five sort of main key ideas that I came across that kept coming back over and over and over again. All right. So my audio just kind of cut it out, but I think we're good. All right. All right. Here we go. We're back. We're back. Okay. And so the first one here is the idea of diverse revenue paths. Okay. There were a lot of talks on and off stage about the different ways that creators can and should make money. Okay. From the stage, there were sessions, for example, by DJ Rosegold at DJ Rosegold and Karen Civil, which is at Karen Civil, that showcased a lot of creative monetization strategies beyond ads. Okay, and so as creators, you can make money off of ads, like YouTube AdSense, for example. You can do also brand deals is also a form of ads and advertising, right? You are selling space on your content, in your content, for brands to advertise. And so there's a lot of talk, though, going outside and beyond ads for creators to make their money. And so there's a lot of focus on community support and exclusive content specifically. And so this is kind of where we fall in with Uscreen in the membership space, and is really, really refreshing to kind of hear. And so in terms of support, I also met a number of professionals from traditional talent management world, right? So people that were managing creators, influencers to bring them brand deals, who are now shifting into more of a business strategy role. So rather than just like trying to bring brand deals to them, to creators, they were now helping these creators that they were working with to launch different revenue streams, maybe launch courses or launch memberships or launch a merch line. And so they're becoming more of a partner with the creator business, or some of them are also becoming fractional, COO, for example, or fractional roles within the creator business, and not just bringing them brand deals. And so this evolution from traditional income sources really highlights the importance of engaging directly with your audiences. They're going beyond the ad revenue model, which is really cool. All right. Number two, I saw a lot of tech with creators. We can't have South by Southwest, without really a list of, creator startups, right? There's a lot of startups out there. Passion Fruit, Stir is kind of back in the picture. Opus Clip, Oversubscribe, Electrify, Video Partners, Carrot Financial, bunch of others. There's so much tech empowerment happening for creators, and they're offering advanced tools for creators to manage their businesses and their finances. And so these platforms really underline the crucial role that technology plays in empowering creators to streamline their operations and enhance their creativity. It's really cool to see. Number three, authentic marketing. Okay, so I got to talk to a lot of partnerships people last week in Austin, and there was definitely a trend towards partnering with micro creators, some nano creators, right? Really small influencers, right, in their space, some in very, very, very deep niches, right, very specific. And they are known for having a really genuine and really close, tight knit connection with their audiences, right? And so this shift in the approach for some really emphasized in me, in my viewpoint, in the focus of authenticity, um, and community in marketing, and valuing trust and engagement, right? Fostered by these micro or nano influencers over just like sheer vanity numbers and like big numbers, and view count and stuff like that, that companies have traditionally been focused on in the past, right? I'm finding that companies are really much more open to micro and nano influencers as long as they have the audience that they are looking for, right? To get in front of their ICP, right? All right, so I got a couple more thoughts, but let's take a little break here for our sponsors. Hey, really quick break here to thank our sponsor, Opus Clip. Opus Clip is my go-to when it comes to repurposing long-form content into short-form video viral clips. All right, I love Opus Clip and using them for a while now, and it makes my job to repurpose these podcasts and these podcast interviews, these podcast episodes, into short form videos, short form clips. All right. So if you are not using Opus Clip yet, again, go check them out. They've got the AI dialed in. You can format, you can design, you can really customize your short form videos using Opus Clip. They've got a free account, free trial. Go to the link in the show notes or in the description and get started with Opus Clip. Now back to the episode. All right. So the next observation, I guess, is what I'm calling these, that I had, is that media ventures by creators. I'm noticing a lot of attention on creators that have built media companies. Okay, they're not just this solo influencer anymore. They are a true media company. So a couple highlights here in this space is Ventures by Alex Cooper, host of Call Her Daddy, and Reese Witherspoon, who has one of her ventures is hello-sunshine.com, right? And so we're seeing creators expanding their influence from individual content to full-fledged media ecosystems. And number 5, in-house creative teams. When it comes to brands now, Uscreen included here, I'm seeing that they're shifting their operations. There's a rise with brands developing their own creative content in-house. This shift really enables more storytelling, right? More authentic storytelling and a closer alignment with brand values because it's all created in-house, right? And so some brands are also blending their in-house creative team seamlessly with a sort of a rotating cast of influencer creative partners. That's what I'm noticing as well. So the brand manages the in-house, creative team within the brand is overseeing the operations, they're project managing and everything. And then they're bringing in sort of a rotating cast of influencer creative partners. This is where you kind of see the UGC, the rise of the UGC creators. And there's some UGC creators just blowing it up, right? Their business is just skyrocketing, right? Because brands are really much more open to having creators just create UGC content. So user generated content. So basically the content is not published on the creators' channels, they're published on the brand's channels, right? So you can look at them sort of like as hired talent, right? Hired talent that the brand basically brings on, but the brand is doing all of the directives and everything and working very closely with that influencer partner to create that piece of content. And so it's just really cool. And so I love seeing all of these innovations happening within the creator economy. I think it's awesome. I think, I am an advocate for just seeing this kind of stuff do so well and just our ecosystem, just flourish and develop and mature. And there's some really serious money to be made now. And there's some really successful creators in terms of finances, right? Financially that are doing so well. And, by them being able to do that, they're able to provide jobs, they're able to provide opportunities, they're able to expand their reach, right? And it's just good for everybody. It's good for everybody. I'm so thankful for it. Such a blessing to see this happen and be sort of in the middle of this whole thing as it just grows and matures. And I think that's kind of where things will continue to grow. There's so many, there's Hollywood, and then there's sort of this creator economy, and there's it's just blending in together, right? My son was telling me a story about Kai Cenat just this morning, and Kanye and all this stuff, and it's just becoming this sort of one very central place now, and the lines are very blurry when it comes to Hollywood, traditional media, and the creator economy as we kind of define and see it today in 2024. And so that's sort of my high levels, and it's from South by Southwest. If you were at South by Southwest, if you have some other things that you'd like to add, man, I would love to hear from you. You can send me a DM on LinkedIn or Instagram. Better yet, if you'd like, you can also send me a voice message, and I can actually then include that in a future episode. I'd love that as well. And so, yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Looking forward to the next conference, and looking forward to hearing from you about what I said earlier, if you like to travel. All right. So again, my name is Rob Balasabas. Thanks for hanging out with me in this episode. God bless you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.